Muscular strength is defined as a maximum force that can be generated by a specific muscle or muscle group during a single movement. The force generated is specific to the muscles involved as well as the type, speed, and joint angle of the contraction. Muscular strength test results are usually expressed in terms of the amount of weight lifted during the test. 1 RM is the heaviest weight that can be lifted one time while maintaining good form. This type of maximum strength testing is considered the gold standard for evaluating dynamic strength. Because this type of testing involves the use of isotonic or dynamic muscular contractions, it translates well to real-life situations as well as exercise performance. The most common exercises used are bench press, squats, and also the leg press, although any exercise can be used to determine 1 RM. When assessing a 1 RM, make sure that the individual has gone through a familiarization period. A familiarization period is particularly important for individuals with no prior resistance exercise experience because they need to learn proper exercise technique and how to be taught how to produce maximal effort during a test. After the familiarization period, it is important for the subject to warm up for 5 to 10 minutes with low-intensity aerobic exercise. After the 5 to 10 minute warm-up, have the client perform a specific warm-up with 5 to 10 repetitions at 40 to 60% of his or her perceived maximum resistance. Then it's time to select the initial weight. To choose the appropriate weight, choose a weight that is 50% to 70% of the subject's perceived capacity. After you have selected the weight, have the subject perform 3 to 5 reps. After selecting initial weight, you will attempt the first 1 RM. Add 5 to 10 pounds and attempt the first 1 RM. If successful, allow a rest period of 3 to 5 minutes and then add another 5 to 10 pounds. You will then increase resistance progressively, approximately 2.5 to 20 kilograms, until the subject cannot complete the lift. A 1 RM should be obtained within 4 sets to avoid excessive fatigue. The final step is to record the heaviest weight lifted successfully through the full range of motion with proper technique. Your strength to weight ratio is simply your strength divided by your body weight. The ideal ratio depends on your gender and what lift you're performing. Muscular endurance relates to a person's ability to perform a successive muscular contraction with a heavy, near maximal load for a relatively short period of time. Muscular endurance must not be confused with cardiovascular endurance. Reps to fatigue, although not a direct measure of pure maximal strength and a test of anaerobic endurance, it is much safer than the 1 RM lift because it involves sub-maximal loads. One can predict their 1 RM from reps to fatigue by simply dividing the weight that they can perform with proper form for exactly 10 repetitions by 0.75. For instance, if an individual can perform 225 for 10 repetitions, they would divide 225 by 0.75 and their 1 RM would be 300. The difference between sub-maximal and maximal tests are that maximal tests demand 100% of an individual's muscular strength or endurance. Maximal tests are used to predict 1 RM, and sub-maximal tests are used when an individual is unfamiliar with the equipment or exercise type. The purpose of the push-up test is to determine how many push-ups can be completed to reflect upper body strength. First, inform the client of the proper breathing technique. Exhale with effort and inhale on the way down. The push-up test is usually administered with men starting in the standard down position, hands pointing forward and under the shoulder, back straight and head up using the toes as a pivotal point. For women, the modified knee push-up position is often used, with legs together, lower leg in contact with mat, ankles plantar flex, back straight, hands shoulder width apart, and head up using the knees as a pivotal point. The subject must rise with the body by straightening the elbows and return to the down position until the chin touches the mat. The stomach should not touch the mat. For both men and women, the subject's back must be straight at all times, and the subject must push up to a straight arm position. Demonstrate the test and allow the client to practice if desired. Remind the client that the maximum number of push-ups performed consecutively without rest is counted as a score. The score is then compared with the others.